Buying a home? Don't panic. Just listen to the rest of this podcast. Okay, everybody, we're back. Welcome back to the Buying a Home, Don't Panic podcast. And today we're going to talk about what causes house fires. And today's guest is James Walker. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Very good. So you are a firefighter?
Yes, I am.
So can you tell me about that, like your experience and all that?
Yeah. So, born and raised here in California. I've been a firefighter here in California for almost 24 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. Started off going to school for it. Got my fire science degree. Did some explore time with the city of Pasadena. And then I worked out in the desert, and I've been with my current department now for 17 years. And my current position is I'm a captain with my department.
Right on. That's awesome. You are a big boy too, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Your shoulders are, they look like they're about 8 inches wider than mine.
You're looking good there too. Huh?
It looks like you could actually carry a ladder.
I try.
That's good. That must be a tough thing to qualify for. Don't you guys have to go through some serious physical training to get it as part of your acceptance?
Yes.
How does that work?
So they have two different types of tests. One's called a BIDL, and the other one is called a CPAT test. And it's a number of different evolutions, I guess you can say, and everything's timed. It's really hard to pass. I know some will probably say it's not that hard, but it's definitely made to be challenging. Dragging dummies, lifting ladders, crawling.
Right. There's a lot of dummies out there.
There is. Yeah. For sure. Right?
So, well, no, that's interesting. And as you were saying that, I remembered something. I used to have one of my friends from jiu-jitsu from years ago, Jamie Walsh. He was a personal trainer too, and I had him training me for a while. And I remember one time he was training a female firefighter, and she passed.
Right.
She made it. He goes, "Oh man, I worked her. She was strong as an ox when she went in there." Yeah. So.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, my engineer is a female.
Nice.
She definitely holds her own. There's plenty of females that can do the job for sure.
Yeah. In case all you guys out there who are just living in the Stone Age don't know it, there's a lot of tough women out there.
Absolutely.
I train with some of them. Mm-hmm. They have striking ability that you wouldn't believe, and I gotta watch my ass when I'm training with these women, because they are just as sharp as anybody else. Sure. Don't underestimate anybody is what I always say.
That's it. Absolutely.
So here's a very important question I was thinking of when you're on your way over here, and I'm like, have you ever met Fire Marshal Bill?
No, I have not.
Do you know who that is?
I don't personally, but
Jim Carrey from In Living Color. Remember him?
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
Jim Carrey's funny.
That was the funniest skit ever.
Yeah.
He looks like he's a dead guy.
Right.
And he's a fire marshal. That is so funny. I looked it up this morning. I'm like, I got to ask him that.
You know what? That's funny, though, because I right away started thinking of the real fire marshal. Well, a friend of mine that just retired, his wife works for the fire marshal.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's funny that you brought that up.
Well, I also was under the kitchen sink this morning doing some cleaning, and I saw my fire extinguisher. Probably not a good place for that to be, right? Under the kitchen sink?
Actually, that's not a bad place for it
not
to be.
Not too bad,
but
okay.
It is out of sight, out of mind.
Yes.
With it being there.
Yeah.
But it is in the vicinity of
the kitchen.
Everything cooking. So
as long as it ain't buried in the back where you can't find it, it's all good.
Right.
So there's a lot of things to talk about today. I've been wanting to have a firefighter come on here for some time because, I'm dealing with houses, and when I walk into houses, I see tons of fire safety issues. whether it be door egress, window egress, no smoke detectors in the kids' bedrooms, which makes me cringe. And I look at the homeowners, I'm like, and I say something to them as well. I'm like, you need to get your ass down to Home Depot like right now and protect your family.
Right.
This is nonsense. So that's what I run into a lot. And some of the living conditions are also fire hazards just because some people are just dirty and they just don't care.
Right.
So I guess we could just talk about these fire extinguishers for a second.
Okay.
I mean, what do you recommend? What does the fire department recommend any size home have on hand? So, for example, an average 1,500, 2,000 square foot house, is there a certain number there should be in the house, or would you recommend more if it was a much bigger house? I mean, how would you scale that?
Right. So this is probably about a 2 pound.
That's a basic use.
Basic use right there for anything that's within a home. So that's considered an ABC extinguisher. It has a dry chemical in it. So your ABC is your A is for ordinary combustibles. Your B is for like grease fires,
right,
or any type of chemical, and your C is for energized electricals. So on the side of that extinguisher, it does have a rating there. So it's going to cover a certain square footage. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have multiple extinguishers. So this right here is going to put out a stove fire.
Okay, it will put out a stove fire.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not only what the makeup is inside of an extinguisher, it's also how it actually is used, right? So
that was my next thing.
so there's something that we call pass on how to use the extinguisher. So you're pulling that pin out, right? And then you're aiming, and then you're squeezing, and you're sweeping would be your last part of that pass. So you're supposed to hit the base of a fire.
Right.
So you're pulling that pin, you're aiming at the base, right? You're squeezing that trigger, and you're sweeping.
Right. So
the
you got
seat of that fire.
So if you don't know already, everybody out there, first of all, you got to break this little white strap right here, and then you're going to pull this pin out. Don't have this facing your face. Turn it this way. Right. And then once you pull the pin out, then you can push this down and grab the handle. And then what James is saying is point down and then sweep across. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So back to it's not more of, but the technique has a lot to do with how effective anything's going to be on a fire.
It's like using anything you buy. If you don't use it properly, it's not going to work right.
Absolutely. But I would recommend multiple extinguishers in the house. In the garage is a great place to have.
I have one in my garage. Yeah. So is there a set point that you can recommend, like under the kitchen sink or in the kitchen vicinity, one in the garage, anything, anywhere, any other part of the house, maybe?
I mean, you can put them in multiple areas, but under the sink for sure, in the kitchen, just like where you put it, and in the garage.
And you say kitchen because that's the number one place for fires, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And not only is that the number one place, but that is the number one cause of home fires.
Right.
Is in the kitchen, cooking fires.
Got it. So before we go any further into the kitchen fires, you mentioned the first thing you mentioned here was basic combustibles. So let's make it very clear for everybody listening what a basic combustible is. That's anything that can catch fire, right?
Yeah. So an ordinary or basic combustible is your organic materials. So wood, paper, anything that's not a synthetic would be your ordinary combustibles.
Right. Like, so you're cooking something on the stove, you get the gas going, you get the electric heater going, what doesn't matter, the elements going, and you get the paper towels right there next to it. Hello, little common sense, peeps.
That's a very good Very good point that you just made right there.
Yeah.
Is all that stuff within that area is what's going to catch fire.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's those little things that start fires because you're just not thinking. You might leave it on. You might be turning off your gas thinking it's all the way off, and it's not because you have it blocked with pots and cooking utility, whatever.
Right.
Like cutting boards, whatever. You might have a cutting board on top of a wood cutting board. Don't put a wood cutting board on top of your range and then walk away from it. It could catch fire.
Absolutely.
It's wood. So
absolutely.
So that's what combustibles are. Anything that's going to go poof.
Yes.
And just turn into a nightmare.
Yes.
So back to the kitchen fires. Is it, well, let me just say this first. It's been my experience going into some homes, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, some people are just very dirty. They cook a lot, and that's fine, but they don't clean. And there's grease coating everything. Now, is grease combustible?
It is.
It is. So even if it's a layer of it on your cabinet, there's a chance that could ignite faster without it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, right. Yeah, I mean, I've been in some houses where I won't even touch the range. I won't physically touch it. I won't even test it because it's so covered with grease. Right. I don't even want nothing to do with it. It's just like filth. So I just make a note, did not inspect because it's filthy.
Right.
There's grease everywhere. So I just put a limitation there.
Right. And that's what that B on the side of that extinguisher is representing, is the grease fires. So that dry chem that's in that extinguisher,
right,
will take care of that.
I see.
That B property of the grease fires. So
it's a good recommendation to tell people right now that, if you got a bunch of grease buildup on your range hood or anywhere around, just wipe it up, clean it.
Absolutely.
Got to keep that clean. Not to mention it's really filthy. It's not sanitary either.
Right.
So, all right, interesting. So cooking is number one. Anything else can you mention about cooking that might be helpful?
Yes. You mentioned being there in the kitchen. I believe that you said that while cooking. That's the number one thing, is being aware that you actually are cooking something. We've all done it. We've all left stuff that's cooking, right? Because we have somebody else on our mind. We go take care of the kids. That's the number one thing to not have a fire, is to be aware that you are cooking and not to leave the kitchen. Second thing would be to have a lid somewhere in that area. So if a fire did start and you caught it early, you can cover that fire up. So we have what is called a fire triangle, and if you take out one of those elements, then you're not going to have fire. So you have to have fuel, which is that grease that we're talking about.
I feel like I'm back in school.
I know.
I'm sorry. The fire triangle. Now I got to think about it. Now I'm like, did you see my brain start turning when you said that?
Yeah, I did.
One of my eyes starts twitching. So now I'm like, okay, let me see if I remember it. Oxygen.
Yes.
That's all I remember. What's the rest?
Yeah. And then heat.
Heat. Okay.
Right. So that makes up the fire triangle. You take out one of those parts, like putting the lid on it, while you're taking that oxygen out. Right.
Right.
So, So the lid.
Wasn't there one more?
It's
with the triangle.
The triangle. Yeah. So it's your fuel.
Fuel. That's right. Fuel.
Which is the grease.
Okay. Hang on. I got to cyber slap myself. I should have known that one.
No, that's all right. Yeah. So, put in the lid over it will displace the oxygen, right?
Yep.
And then definitely, if you have kids in the house, you have to watch those fires for sure while you're cooking.
Yeah.
Because we do go on a lot of kids that get burned, unfortunately.
A lot of calls. Yeah. Do you have a lot of calls where the kid steps on the door and the range tips over?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So as a home inspector, we always check to see if there's an anti-tip bracket installed. And if it's a really old unit, it's not there.
Right.
And if it's in a rental unit, it's not there. So anything older, they're always missing. And what that means is if you got stuff on the range, pots filled with hot water or stews or whatever you got on there, and you walk away from the kitchen, just like you mentioned, don't be walking away from the kitchen. You got to be aware when you're cooking, you need to stay in the kitchen.
Right.
So, and then the little one comes up, opens the oven door, or maybe it's already open, and steps on it or sits on it. And that weight, depending on how heavy the kid is, can tip that range right over, and everything on top is going to fall right on that kid.
Absolutely.
That's super dangerous.
It is.
And the anti-tip bracket is just a $20 piece.
Right.
It's a little of a challenge to put it in because you do have to slide out the range and maybe disconnect the fuel line. You got to kind of disconnect it to get all that in there. So I wouldn't try it yourself if you're not handy, but you really need to do it. So that's one of the number one things in kitchens that I write up.
For sure.
So, okay. So what's your experience with heating equipment, like, old floor gravity heaters or baseboard heaters or anything like that?
So one of our areas that we respond to, they have a lot of older homes, and occasionally we'll get.
You mean older? What do you think? 50s or 20s?
30s and 40s.
30, okay.
Yeah, so we'll occasionally get those structure fires from those type of heating elements. That's probably about my extent of what.
So not too often.
Not too often.
Okay.
Those type of fires.
Right.
But the number one fire that we usually get, and it's in our colder months, is going to be from chimneys. Chimney fires. Space heater fires, but chimney fires.
Chimney fires
is big.
Yeah.
People don't clean them.
Yeah, nobody even thinks about their fireplace until they want to put a log in it.
Right.
That's about it. Or turn it on if it's a gas-fueled one. But, that's a really good point because as a home inspector, a lot of home inspectors comment on fireplaces. I particularly do not at all. I let people know right up front when they call me, don't ask me to look at your fireplace. I don't have the tools or the training to get inside the important part of that chimney flue and let you know what's going on in there. That's where the problems arise. Those things are disconnected. There's big gaps where the heat just builds up and then it ignites that wood on the other side because it just gets so hot. And that's why a level 2 chimney inspection should be done at minimum, not a level 1. A level 1 is, me looking at this computer right here and going, oh yeah, it looks great.
Right.
Cosmetically, it looks great, but I can't tell you if it's functioning properly because I'm not going to go in your house and light a fire. That's not what we do, so we're not going to go test your fireplace. But a chimney specialist, they'll come in. That's what they do. They know exactly what they're doing. They have the tools to scope that thing out and really let you know what's going on. So a level 2 chimney inspection should be part of every home inspection for a house that has a fireplace and chimney.
So what is it that you're telling your client?
When they call me, they'll always ask, do you do chimney? I'm like, I do not do chimney. And if they ask, why not? Well, this other guy did. And I said, well, he probably told you at the end to get a chimney specialist, right?
Right.
Yeah, he did. Well, I'm just trying to save you the trouble so you can get through your transaction easier. Because I'm going to tell you that everyone's going to tell you that. That's what we have to do.
Right.
So there's some things in a house that I feel that I can give a good opinion of. Mm-hmm. Like I can test it enough or visually inspect it enough to say, you know what, I'm comfortable telling you this. Like a heating and cooling system. There's a thermostat on the wall. I'm going to turn it on just like the homeowner would.
Right.
I'm going to run it through but I know what to listen for. I know what to look for. I got gauges to check temperatures and stuff like that. So I have enough experience and tools to give them an honest opinion of what I think of what's going on, the age of it, so forth, and all that stuff. But with chimneys, I don't have that. I don't have that ability.
So the exterior of it on the inside, the hearth, the box, all that. What do you?
I stay away from all of it. Yeah. I stay away from all of it. I don't want to even go down that rabbit hole. Well, how come you looked at that and not this?
Right.
That's a question that could come up later.
Right.
So that's how you got to think.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're thinking about that stuff. So it's either you inspect it or you don't.
Right.
That's just how I roll on that. Okay, so heating, as far as heating equipment goes in a house, I cringe sometimes when I see the electric wall heaters in the bathroom, and they got a towel rack right above it.
Right.
And then there's a towel hanging there.
Mm-hmm.
Me being me, come here, everybody. Do not turn this on with that towel there.
Right.
And you'd be surprised at how many people, oh, wow, that's a good point. They just weren't thinking of it.
Right.
It's just, we get very complacent living.
Absolutely.
Don't we? We're living in a house, we're just complacent.
Right.
It's
yeah,
fine.
we've all done it.
It's fine, man. Who cares? Just a towel. I'll buy another one.
Right.
Yeah, along with buying a new house.
Right.
Because the whole thing burnt down.
Absolutely.
So those things get very hot.
They do.
Those electric heaters, keep your kids away from those heaters too. Those are dangerous.
Right.
For a little one. Yeah.
Yeah. And you should keep everything about 3 feet away.
Yeah.
Like a 3 foot space.
Sure.
All the way around any type of heating source.
Yeah, even going back to the gravity floor grills in the old, 1920s, 1930s, sometimes 1940s homes. I see drapes like right over them, and I'm like, fire hazard right there. Right. So it's just common sense. Just got to remember, heat. People think, well, there's no fire, so how's something going to catch fire? They're not aware of the heat element, the amount of heat it takes to ignite something. And that's what most people just are not aware of. That's why we're here today talking about this stuff, because those are things people just don't think of.
Right.
It goes along the same lines as when I tell people about swimming pools. I inspect swimming pools. And when I tell them that it's not only their family they got to worry about drowning in the pool, it's the neighboring. And they're like, whoa, I never thought of that. Just, it's kind of planting seeds.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it goes right along those lines. So
yeah, and everything that we're talking about it all starts with awareness.
There you go. That's the word. Awareness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember growing up that in our house, we always had drapes in the kitchen. You don't really see them anymore. Right? Something else that you had mentioned is how things catch on fire. Well, I've gone on fires that were actually started from linseed oil sitting in the garage. That whole when something deoxidizes or like rust, how that
kind of like a battery.
Absolutely, that chemical reaction that happens.
Yeah, we've
gone on fires that started in garages because somebody left rags in the corner full of linseed oil. So over time, and time, just turns those chemicals into something else. Right.
Wow.
So you don't necessarily need an actual lighter, a match, for a fire to start. Yeah. So,
but the whole battery thing, I watched a documentary or some kind of, probably wasn't a documentary, probably some short video on what can happen with batteries. If you have a bunch of batteries, like if you stock up on batteries, you got to keep an eye on them because they will start corroding inside the package. If they're all in there together, I guess there's some kind of a event that'll happen where they can, I don't have the correct technical term for it, and it starts fire.
Right. Yeah, it's a chemical decomposition. So it's just changing state is what it's doing. And those are bad fires. A lot of the electric cars now, fire departments will show up. They'll think that the fires are out and they'll reignite at some point a day later, 2 days later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of awareness right now going on.
Those are lithium batteries, correct?
Right. With the lithium batteries.
So lithium batteries, you got to be careful. Yeah. And your phone, you got to be careful with lithium batteries altogether. It doesn't matter what component it's in. You got to really be careful. So my understanding is if if the battery itself is just overheated on its own, let's say the battery is not even in the component. Like, for example, my cordless drill.
Mm-hmm.
If that battery is fully charged and it's just sitting out and it's in an area where it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter, I'm told that can be a problem right there.
Absolutely.
They just get too hot on their own because of where it's stored.
Right.
So I have a lot of lithium stuff. I have a lot of lithium batteries, and I'm always cautious to unplug stuff after it's charged. So there's no electric source going to it.
Right.
Take it off the charger. Somebody I know told me recently they had a flashlight and they put it in their pocket, or the battery itself. They put it in their pocket, and it caught fire in their pant pocket. And I'm like, was that a bare battery?
Right.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? There's two ends of that battery, positive and negative. And if you maybe have a coin or a quarter,
right.
all those things. This is just the real world I live in.
Right.
That's just the shit that happens.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if you put a flashlight in your pocket that had the battery inside the flashlight, there wouldn't be a problem. I'd be really surprised if that was the case.
Yeah. I've had my phone in my pocket and I feel it heating up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So don't leave it on your dashboard.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Don't leave it there. Let's see. Careless smoking, you mentioned. Careless smoking. Tell me about that. What's going on with smokers?
Yeah. So careless smoking, obviously you don't want to be smoking when it's time to go to bed. Get fires that either are laying in bed or on the people have been smoking while they're on the couch. Leaving cigarettes around the house in ashtrays. It's a bad situation.
Bad habit.
Bad habit to get
bad
into.
habit to smoke in the first place.
Right.
That's a bad habit to leave them around the house. Gotcha. Yeah. I don't smoke.
Yeah. I never smoked either.
Yeah. Some people I know smoke cigars. I still don't understand that.
Have you ever tried it?
Maybe when I was really young and stupid. Maybe.
Yeah, I've smoked a cigar a couple times.
I
don't like it. I do not like it.
I think I did do it once, and I think it made me sick.
Right.
Actually, yes. I now remember that. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that bad memory back.
Yeah, I don't like them. I don't care if it's Cuban or whatever it is. I don't like them.
So, electrical equipment. This is something I can chime in on too, because I've seen quite a few of these fire hazards.
Right.
So go ahead, you first.
Yeah,
You're the guest.
We've been on a number of electrical fires, whether it's considered handyman wiring or not.
But you don't know that till you get there, right?
I don't know that unless an arson investigator tells me that.
Oh, okay.
That it was handyman wiring. But as you know, that just old wiring in general. Doesn't have to be handyman. It can just be old wiring, right?
Not knob and tube, cloth covered wiring, aluminum wiring. Yep.
Right. So a lot of our electrical fires start in garages from handyman wiring. People wiring. I saw a video of yours. I think it was a short not too long ago in an attic, and they were splices that weren't in junction boxes. Correct.
That's my life every day.
We get those fires in attics.
Yep.
Quite often.
And those can be started by little varmints chewing on the wires.
Absolutely.
They light themselves on fire, and that catches everything else on fire.
Yeah, for sure.
Poof.
Absolutely. So something to take away from electrical fires is don't put a bunch of extension cords into one. What would it be? Not a GFI, but
like a plug extension.
Yeah.
It's like a little 4-way, and
right.
I'll get 4 plugs going into one outlet. Yeah, that's
right.
Christmas time. Everyone does that during Christmas, but I see it behind a lot of TV sets too.
Right. Yeah. Right. So make sure that stuff is listed.
Yeah, UL listed. Yep.
UL listed is one of the big third parties. Yeah, I can go on with electrical stuff.
Yeah. If you got a three prong cord, and you only have a male, and you have a 2-prong female, don't be pulling that ground off that appliance or whatever you got, because it needs to have a ground. I see that all the time.
So a funny story, but a story about that is one time we were on a structure fire, and one of the guys was leaning up against, I think it was a metal framing from a sliding door or something, and he got shocked from it. So somehow the house wasn't grounded from the fire. So I don't know how that happened, but
I've heard of that also happening where you can go into a yard and walk on a certain part of the ground, and you'll get zapped.
Okay.
So there's some kind of a electrical short going on somewhere,
right?
And I watched this one guy on YouTube, electrical guy, and he was like, "Check this out," and I was like, "Whoa, that is so dangerous." He walked in the backyard, and he could feel it. He got zapped a little bit. It wasn't like a electrocution, but it was a good amount of energy there, and he got a little zap, and he goes, "This is from this," and it was so long ago, I can't remember exactly what caused it, but that woke me up. I was like, wow, I got to be careful of that. Walking around someone's house.
Yeah. So, watch what you're plugging in. If wires have breaks or any exposed wires, leave them alone. Don't touch them. Don't try to plug them in.
Yep.
If you do smell anything that seems to be burning, pay attention to it, because that can start a fire behind walls.
Mm-hmm.
Look for any type of charring on receptacles.
Yep. Loose connections.
For sure.
A big one on receptacles.
Absolutely.
Yep. So electrical. So basically, that's one of the main parts of my job is, main job of a home inspector's safety issues. Horrible wiring is plenty-some. There's tons of it out there. So going into attics, seeing knob and tube wiring covered with insulation, that's a huge no-no right there.
Right.
If there's knob and tube in a house, there should be no insulation, because that's how they built them back then.
Right.
So I was just in a house just a couple of days ago, and I saw a bunch of, it looks like this, coming out of the junction boxes. There's a bunch of wires. If there was a junction box, a lot of this house didn't have any. And it turns out they had Romex connected to some knob and tube, and only a couple areas that were easily visible. But then as I was making my way across the attic, I'm really watching where I walk, and I could see, oh, wait a second, that looks like a knob and tube right there. Yep. Put my sniffer on it, lights up like a Christmas tree. And then I just started moving a little insulation. I could see it was going through the whole thing. It could have easily been overlooked because there was just enough insulation to kind of conceal it. But because I saw it visibly in a couple of other small areas, it made me look a little harder. And that the wiring under the house, in the attic, there was still 2-prong receptacles mixed around with 3-prong receptacles. That's a dead giveaway right there. When you see 2-prong receptacles in a house today that's being sold. Come on.
Right.
It should have been upgraded years ago.
Absolutely.
So that there's no grounding whatsoever on that. So it might have a 2-wire system in it. This house has a 2-wire system. Pretty interesting. So I've been replacing wiring in here.
Okay.
Yeah, little by little. Let's see what other electrical stuff. Electrical panels. What the main ones are Federal Pacific stab block. You familiar with those?
Right, yeah.
I actually have one on this house. Okay. Right now, it's still in service. I'm getting ready to do a major electrical upgrade here.
Does it triple a lot?
It hasn't done anything wrong yet.
Okay.
So I've been watching it. I've been real cautious about what I do with it. I haven't added anything that could make it, start malfunctioning. I haven't put any extra stress on it, in other words. But I do want to get rid of that soon. But I got to do a whole relocation. I got to remove that panel where it is. It's only 100 amp. I'm going to put a 200 amp behind the garage and then go underground from behind the garage to the house and put a sub panel in the house. So I got a whole plan to do, but it's just a lot of manual labor. I got to saw cut the driveway and trench it out. I got to do all that. So as the cooler weather gets here, I'll jump on that. I'll be doing that soon.
So let me ask you a question about that. So if you have a house that you're inspecting and it's similar to this, what is your recommendation to a client with this type of wiring system?
Well, I just make them aware of it.
Okay.
I'm not here to scare them or tell them don't buy it.
Right.
I'm like, look, you have an older home. First of all, I like to point out the obvious for people. You are aware of the age of this house? Oh, yes. That's built in 1940s. Okay. So with that, if nobody living here over these years has upgraded everything, well, then you still have older systems in place. Meaning electrical wiring, electrical panel, and maybe some other things I found.
Right.
So I had to make them aware of it. So my recommendation is have an electrician come out, further evaluate your electrical system, check everything, and they'll recommend what you need to do.
Yeah.
So that's how I do it.
Right. Yeah. Back to for homeowners, it's another thing too is making sure that kids aren't sticking things, any metal objects into those receptacles.
Yeah.
I know you and we can probably go deep into
it's fine. Yeah.
electrical. I'm trying to keep it just basic for
they have their little plastic protectors you can put inside the receptacles, and for a home inspector that's a nightmare. We show up, everything's plugged. Everything's covered. The cabinets are got locks on them, and you got it slows us. It slows me down, and it's a real big nuisance for us.
Right.
But I get it. I don't get mad about it. I'm just like, okay,
right.
Gonna be here an extra 30 minutes.
Right. For sure.
Just trying to unlock stuff.
Right.
So if the homeowners are there, I'm like, hey, can you unlock everything?
There you go.
Please.
Right.
Open all the windows for me.
Yeah.
Open all the shades, whatever, blinds. So yeah, there's a lot of things to do with electrical. So
there is.
The way I summarize electrical is anything electrical is a potential safety hazard, whether it's personal electrocution, shock, or fire.
Right.
So
be aware of it.
That's just the world I live in.
Right.
I've done stupid shit in the past.
For sure.
Years ago.
Absolutely.
Working on a receptacle without turning off the power. Bzz, my screwdriver got zapped. Luckily, I didn't get zapped.
Yeah. I've been there.
Oh man.
Sure. So don't plug a bunch of stuff in. Make sure that it's listed, that you're not buying this cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Watch the kids around it.
Yeah. Candles. For all you romantics out there.
Yeah, so candles is another big one. How home fires start. If you're going to be lighting candles, make sure that you're again staying in the room, that you're not leaving them around. We had a fire one time that unfortunately somebody lost their life behind candles. And it's because they left the candles unattended. I would say try and go flashlights now instead of candles. The holidays come up, right?
A lot of scented candles. A lot of people like to use scented candles, that's fine. Just remember, don't put it underneath the drapes.
Absolutely.
Don't put it next to the paper towels. Use your common sense.
For sure.
A lot of this is common sense.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right. That 3-foot rule again.
Yeah.
With candles.
Yeah.
No combustibles.
Is it on a wood table?
Right.
Is it on a granite table or a granite countertop? That's different. Having on granite falls over. Granite's not going to catch fire.
Right.
Everything around it might.
Right.
Yeah, you got to be careful. So a lot of that's just common sense.
Monitor it.
So wake up, everybody.